It's an answer! I can't fucking compete! I just can't fucking compete!
You would think that before I get into the concept of this video, I'll do the whole, this is just my opinion speech. But honestly, I believe this isn't a matter of opinion. Yes, this video is based on personal experiences and preferences, sure. But as a YouTuber who's made hours upon hours of content that always promoted keeping an open mind and letting people enjoy what they want from day one, I think I've found a topic that I'll not budge on. 20th of March, 2020. Like countless other souls, I was going to hell. Doom Eternal changed the way I viewed difficulty in video games. But not straight away. When I first opened the game, I did my usual routine. Hop into the settings menu, tweaked everything, then selected my difficulty to my usual medium or medium equivalent setting. It wasn't until months later when I revisited the game on a whim and decided to play the game on the hardest difficulty. I found it surprisingly easy, only experiencing a few setbacks in certain areas of the game. But there was a looming, totally optional aspect of the game. Master levels. Just the description alone turned my medium difficulty enjoying ass away. But now was different. If the hard mode wasn't hard, surely master level didn't mean anything. I was the type of person to not use the given tools to my advantage. On practically any difficulty in Doom Eternal, you could stick to your favorite gun and beat the game. To me, that concept was bliss. How could it not be? Fun gameplay, fun music, and it wasn't hard to enjoy myself because I played on the medium difficulty. But the master levels taught me to use everything. Every aspect of the gameplay was important. And yes, when I first started the levels, it still had my one big issue. All those tools and game mechanics were still very overwhelming. Not only that, I was dying and making even less progress than when I was only using my favorite safe gun. But that's not only Doom Eternal's trap, but life's biggest trap. It's so easy to do what's comfortable, but what's comfortable isn't the best option for when you're genuinely trying to help yourself. When presented with tools to help, it will seem like a setback, starting from zero, if you will. And that's because you are. But you never lose in life when you fail, only when you understand you have the tools to succeed, but refuse to learn how to use them out of discomfort. Doom Eternal taught me the way I was playing games wasn't bliss, but blissful ignorance. I know, clever. Please hold your applause. Before we move on, I want to make sure we're all on the same page here. I'm in no way trying to say that playing games on a lower difficulty is invalid. I need you to understand that I'm just setting the scene here. How could I go back? I want you to really picture it. I'm playing a new game and I get offered the choice. How could I? I can't. That point of no return has been crossed forever. No matter the challenge, the rumors of difficulty, or the warnings the games give, it doesn't matter to me anymore. Sure, there will be games harder than Doom Eternal's master levels, but I've mastered the tools. That feeling of failing over and over again will continue to riddle every game I play, yet in the same breath, that feeling of pride when not giving up and pulling through will riddle every game I complete. And through this experience, I've started to see something really important. I've started to see when a game is respecting you and your efforts. One of, if not the most important part of difficulty in a game is something I like to call the canonical link. When a game's difficulty is reflected in its story, the experience becomes immersive. But because the term canonical link was something I literally just made up, I think the best way to explain it is with visual examples. In Persona 3, you're constantly juggling game mechanics, commanding party members, item usage, enemy weaknesses, your weaknesses, HP, SP, teleporter locations, ultimate charge, personality traits, buffs, nerfs, your studies, your courage. Your exams, yes, like literally exams, dialogue options, links, growing closer to party members, side quests, fusing personas, and buying new gear, just to name a few. And I'm not joking, there is a lot more. Not only is this not everything to juggle in the game, you must specifically choose when to do them, as you can only do 2 actions per day, while on a time crunch, as the game's bosses occur at set times, leaving you ill-prepared if you're not on your A game. It is a lot, and it would seem like an overly complex system if not for the canonical link. In my playthrough, all my party members recognize how hard it is to keep track and optimize everything. The game's story actively ties into the complex gameplay of being a team leader. The game will recognize and respect your efforts. It's the same story for fighting enemies. Some boss fights take between 10 to 30 minutes, and it only takes one single mistake to get you or your party killed in one turn. The gameplay constantly puts that looming pressure on you 24/7, but keeping your cool and not making sloppy mistakes will get you through even the hardest of situations. And the story recognizes this. Members of your team explain how difficult some of these fights are getting, yet always compliment you on how cool-headed you are as their leader during a fight. And that's another canonical link, knowing that the story recognizes the absolutely insane powerful threats, as well as my efficiency. It truly makes me feel like a team leader who's responsible for my friends' lives, all because the difficulty links with the story. The best part about all of this is that it's adaptable to any difficulty setting. The canonical link is a personal feeling, so even if you play a game on the easier setting because you're genuinely not too good at games, you would still feel that link. Basically what I'm saying is that I need to play a game on the hardest difficulty to feel that link due to my baseline skills when it comes to playing games. But that doesn't mean a less skilled player needs to do the same to feel that link. Their hard difficulty is my easy difficulty, yet the end result for matching the difficulty with your skill level will be the same. Now that I've talked about my personal experiences with difficulty and the emotional attachment of canonical links, we now have all the ammunition we need to objectively answer the question, when is a game too hard? We are playing art, an interactable look into a person's mind and soul. Since the beginning of time, we share our dreams in hope of building connections and bonding with fellow men, via painting, words, then film. Our vision is no longer restrained by a single image, countless words to create, or even a finite amount of time put to screen. We are the single image, the countless words, and finite time. So my point is that a video game gives us the opportunity to be more emotionally and physically immersed in content than any other form of art. So what if you're trying to get invested in a game's story, but you keep dying? Like a lot. Over and over and over again. This is what happened to me during my Battlefield Bad Company 2 playthrough, and it was amazing. Yeah, it's me and a couple other guys versus countless enemies with lethal arms. Dying during my playthrough only enhanced my immersion, and of course gave me that incredible feeling of beating something you're stuck on. What I'm describing is a game that has a healthy balance of gameplay difficulty in relation to the story I'm experiencing, making good use of gaming as a media. With that being said, a game is too difficult when it's taking away from your immersion, and if there was ever a game that does that to me, it would be Elden Ring. Elden Ring is a game that constantly pulls you out of the immersion just to kick your teeth in. On your first playthrough of this game, you cannot truly be enchanted by the world, because if at any point you get even close to being drawn in, you're pushed back out by a boss fight that is so difficult by design, a fight made to stop you in your tracks every single time. Not like dying during a firefight where you could have positioned yourself better, or dying because you got too careless when you could have locked in 5% harder. We're talking, you're dead because there is absolutely no way in hell you could have comprehended what was about to happen. Actually, when the PlayStation 6 comes out, Elden Ring will be remastered and called Elden Ring, You're Dead Because There's Absolutely No Way in Hell You Could Have Comprehended What Was About to Happen edition. So the only way to beat a boss fight so difficult is to learn them. And when I say learn them, I don't mean Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3 learning, die, get slightly better, repeat, then win. I'm talking studying, spending hours on one move alone. Before this starts sounding spiteful, let me explain why this is objectively not a good thing at all. My favorite movie of all time is Interstellar. It's a visually stunning and beautiful movie. It's the very definition of immersive. A massive part of that is because you're not in a movie set. Imagine how immersion breaking it would be if every now and then during the movie you would see a green screen, or have the director walk in front of the camera to give notes to the actors. It would be horrible, right? Because the movie is peeling back that immersion. This is what Elden Ring does. You don't see a cool threat, massive weapon, intricate armor, a living, breathing creation that blends perfectly into the world. You see under the hood, so to speak. I see code. Everything around you no longer matters. The world, the story, the colors, the intention. All I see is code, and AI, and roll timing. Because the game is peeling back the immersion in favor of difficulty. That story and difficulty balance is completely out of order, unlike previous titles. Now, I myself need to pull back and remember the goal of this video. It's not about slandering a specific game. I said at the start of this video, I think I found a topic that I will not budge on. And that topic isn't about Elden Ring. You can disagree and say Elden Ring is the mostest perfectest game ever. That's fine and up to you. What I won't budge on is that a game is too hard when it starts to sacrifice immersion.